Welcome back to Find 40. My name is Matthew Mitchell. This is a project designed to highlight Black excellence in San Diego, and I'm super excited to introduce the third one. So I found another one. This is Nate Howard, professional speaker, poet, educator, social entrepreneur, founder of Movement B, among many other things. I can only predict his future is so bright. He is a unique thinker, a unique voice, and a true leader. So this here is my concentrated form of the full interview. I was going through it, editing it, getting ready to release it, and I was like, man, there's just so many nuggets in here. So I have put the nuggets in one basket, if you will, in this reel. As I say, I'll reduce the full thing later, but just get a load of this, all right? With no further ado, Nate Howard.
And it hit me that I thought I was beating racism by my academics, that I was a scholar and that I was different. And that was a realization that no degree or no kind of academic advancement is going to put me out of racism and discrimination. What I realized was that they weren't going to keep the story alive, and that it was up to me. That program grew from 10 students to about 40 students coming after school voluntarily. I realized we created a home away from home. You see Black death in the media, or even the experience that I experienced with the police. Our first action is to react, whether that's out of anger or whether as a, trying to find a solution to make change. But nobody begins to first think, wait a minute, what about my mental health? What about what I'm dealing with emotionally? Because I can't create any solution or be productive in anything until I first understand what I'm dealing with on the inside. But I do believe that we should have an entrepreneurial mindset. I still think that there's a lot of modern day slavery, people doing things that don't excite them, that they don't love, for resources that are crumbs, right? That keep you enslaved to a system that was never designed for you. I mean, and beyond the acronym, B means to just be. Grass doesn't try to grow; it grows. Birds don't try to fly. Ah, come on, baby. Everything is natural and at ease. And if you are a spiritual, religious person, you understand that if you have faith in God, that all is well, and that He's making a way. That's what I try to remind students. That's what I try to remind myself. That's the power of Movement B. It's helping youth through their emotional maturity, giving them the confidence to, be the best version of themselves. I love poetry. I love writing. Like, I love performing. I love speaking. Right? People do what you love. Like, beyond, I've told people I'm not an activist. Right? As much people may, even though I'm out there, like, I'm not. I'm doing what I love. I love doing it. If you see it as activism, if you see it as even entrepreneurship, right? If you see it as whatever people label it as, I am doing what I love. And I just don't think people do what they love. Like, I don't work a day in my life at all. I get to teach kids poetry and I get to write poetry. And in the midst of that, I realize that it actually helps people. And we have the ability to choose our emotions. Okay? So who's to say I'm supposed to feel anyway based off what I see, hear, right? And that is the power in realizing when you're focused on joy and peace and love, right? If I want to model equality, what does equality look like? Right? If I want to model empowerment and Black independence and Black ownership, what does that look like? I cannot have Black ownership and independence if I am in a place of depression and inferiority, begging somebody to please not kill me. I can't have ownership and sovereignty and power if I'm in that emotional state. You know, when that incident happened to me at USC, I realized that I wasn't fighting an external power anymore. And my argument still is that in a spiritual journey, in an understanding of who I am, for me to still react to people in that way, whatever it is meaning that I am giving somebody governance and power over me and not realizing that it's a you versus you battle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying I am focused on education reform
Mm-hmm.
because that's what I study and that's what I'm practicing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess my message is on a spiritual journey, make that you versus you battle and find out what your specific skills are.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're not going to change this alone, but we all have to find our purpose, our personal legend, our gift,
Mm-hmm.
and do what you can where you are.
What is it you were saying that's new? And
It's nothing. I'm saying just be.
mm-hmm.
That's why B doesn't have anything attached to it, right? It's just a big red font that says B. Grass doesn't try to grow. Birds don't try to fly. They
Brother,
fly.
you're speaking into some esoteric places, brother. You know, there's whole schools of thought that people train for this. So you're saying it's simple. That's that quote people say. It's simple, but it's not easy. You know.
Because what I believe is happening right now is the racial divide that I think the media is propagating, and that's speaking to this issue that, um, trust me, I've always had confidence in my blackness and who I am and proud of that. But I also understand the limitations of blackness in realizing that black is not a country.
Mm-hmm.
And that blackness has only come from whiteness. So I try to tell people stop being white. Because what is white? White is the quintessential that everything is compared to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I am black because this person is white. Right? I believe in ancient times, you know, I don't, and obviously I don't know, right? But the social constructs that we are dealing with today, I think, are all connected to the Willie Lynch syndrome or connected to these things that keep people limited to these stereotypes. And even our own people, I've said this, I mean, I remember at the USC protests, I said, straight up, we don't have solidarity among us. So when people talk about the black community, please define it for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because when I talk about community and when I talk about organization, I'm a CEO, right? There's a system of operations and we have to move a certain way. So when I first seen Black Lives Matter, and I'm proud and powerful, but there is no organization. It's a hashtag,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And what we're looking at today, obviously there's people working in different pockets, right? And there's some leaders that are recognized more than others that are doing things. But why I'm so focused on Movement B is because I understand the control and power of my leadership there.
Mm-hmm.
Movement B is not just a hashtag. We are operations. We have to move like a company. We have to build. And then I say, well, how do I change that? How do I change your perception of yourself? And what I find is that it's difficult, and this has been new thinking for me, right? This has just been my spiritual growth of late, that whenever you try to resist against something,
Mm-hmm.
right, or try to force something, right, because I'm black, look at me, I'm trying to this, help me, I'm this black man, I'm 11-year-old black boy, please don't kill me.
Mm-hmm.
What does it do? It creates more of the same. Because now, on a spiritual level, I'm just talking about words and the words creating your reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
And understanding your thoughts create your reality. But people don't understand at that point. And so when you understand it from that level, Martin, Malcolm, all of these people that we've looked up to, right? You say they had great strategies, but that's not mine. When people get past the social constructs, that they see beyond the limitations of what the media may say about them. Now, if you don't wake up and begin to realize that the media has been pointing at Black people this whole time, you'll be like, wait a minute. Okay, you done killed this brother, you done killed this sister. We're the most affected by coronavirus. Now you done killed this brother. Oh, so you're using Blackness, you're using the constructs of race, right, to really lynch somebody because I can overtly kill you, I can overtly put racism on you, or I can brainwash and condition you so much that I put fear into you because of your Blackness. Unconsciously, it's giving you a little more power because it's like, well, that's not me, that's those Black people. And now I have to play, oh, well, let me give sympathy to these Black people. You see what they're doing? No, that's a human fucking being, just like you. And to the point, until we get to that level, I'm not sure there will be real empathy happening. But I'm talking about freedom, real freedom. Real freedom is realizing that you are not limited to a construct and that you don't have to react to the ideology. I am not limited to any construct. That's not a racial construct. That's not a political ideology. You can't call me Republican or Democrat. My freedom is saying I can't allow anybody to tell my story, no matter what they may think it is. I am free to be whoever I want to be. And that's what makes me the happiest. Look, I am the greatest, and I know that. Shit, I know I got a lot of work to do. But Muhammad Ali said, I'm the greatest. I said that before I even knew I was. So if we are teaching our young people that they are inferior, that they have to fear the white cop, or that they're poor, they're creating more of that.
Yes.
And that's where I'm realizing the wake-up call is hard to share because people are like, wait a minute, you don't get it. We gotta be struggle. We gotta. But it's like, if we really want real change, the secret is, right, modeling who we actually want to be and acting as so. So that's why I'm joyful. I'm full of love. I'm full of gratitude. Despite what I see, I know what I see, and that's hard to watch. But what I understand is that my leadership has to model the world that I want it to look like. If Blackness is defined by how America is looking at Blackness, then that's when I have to redefine what Blackness is. Because my Blackness is so free, I say whatever I want. My whole message to people and to kids is to own who you are. But you own your story and you have the resources to take care of you and your family. You can go live on a farm and a land and you can raise your family and be happy, turn off the TV and get connected to the land and the source of what is there. And so you have to tell that story. You have to uplift yourself. That's a you versus you battle. And when I say tell your story before they do, I'm asking you, who is they? Because I'm not telling you who they is. I want you to find out who they is for yourself. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Yeah, appreciate you.
Yeah. Appreciate you, my man. Okay. Right. To be continued. We'll keep the conversation going.